Hi guys, we're looking at Ivory Road by King Charles today. We got a whole bunch of different parts. We've got the intro, which is the same as part 1. We've got part 2, which is the finger picking part where he changes the key signature. We got part 3, which is the chorus with some strumming. We got kind of part 4, which is a different verse. And then we got the solo and the outro. So there's a whole bunch of different bits, so I'll do a playthrough of each bit and then we'll do the sort of explanation through it. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so for part 1, we've got a capo on the 7th fret and we've tuned our bass string down to a C. So it should be the same as the 3rd fret, but an octave lower. 3rd fret of the A. So, the intro, which is the same as the part, what I've been calling part 1, starts on a C chord. Okay? And we're just going to walk up and down, because we're in 3/4 time, we play, which is 6, is kind of 6 quarter notes, so to speak. So we just walk down the C, thumb, thumb, index, middle in the right hand, and then we come back, index, thumb. Okay, that's the first bar. Then we play the D string twice. I do index and then thumb again. Then we play the open G. And then we do a 2nd fret, hammer onto the 4th fret, pull off to the 2nd fret, pull off to the open. And then we end that bar on the 2nd fret of the D string. So it's 2. So with the first bar, nice and slow, 1, 2, 3. I come into my ring finger just because it helps, middle finger just because it helps to slide into the next bar. Go to this E7 chord, we're going to slide to the 7th fret from the capo, 7th fret of the A string with our ring finger, 6th fret with the middle finger, 7th fret of the G string with our little finger. And then we've slid into that. Then we're going to go D string. I now use my index finger, I just move it up. Then you come back to the thumb on the A string. Then middle finger, index finger, thumb. G, D, A. Then we do that again without the slide. Now we slide middle finger into the 8th fret of the A string. Hopefully better than that. Little bar on the 2 7th frets on the D and the G. And then ring finger plays the 9th fret of the G. So you've slid in, and it's the same finger picking pattern. No, it's not quite. Then we play the index finger, back to the thumb. Then we play the G string, 9th fret, and then play it again, 7th fret. And then we finish on the D string. Okay. Start again the same way. Come up to the 9th fret again. Now the 10th fret with the little finger on the G string. And then he kind of does what we call a gliss slide. So he picks it again and slides it really quickly, and you end up with the open string. Okay. So, our first 6 bars. 1, 2, 3. play through the C. And if you were now playing part 1, so you'd done the intro, you just do that exactly the same thing. And that would be the end of part 1. However, in the intro, we keep going and we just do the 1 bar of that C. So we've done the 1 bar of C. Then we walk up again, we play the A string, D string, G string. Then we do that hammer-on pull-off thing again, 2nd fret of the G, and end on the 2nd fret of the D. Then we come into an F major 7, play the open D string, and then we play our F major 7 chord, and we just walk up and down from the D to the B. So we just throws in that open D so that you get this 6 beats in the bar, 6 quarter notes. Middle finger jumps over to the A string, 2nd fret, and you play A string, D string, A string. Then B string, 1st fret, open, and the middle finger jumps back to catch the 2nd fret of the G to finish that bar. And then we finish with a C. Just walk it up from A to B. So from that F major 7, 1, 2, 3. So all the way through, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this middle bit, part 2. This was tricky to work out because he changes the time signature and there's no specific pattern. So I'm going to teach you what I would call the bass pattern and then show you how to just vary it like he does. We're going to have the same pattern for everything, so we'll just talk about the chords first. We're going to start with our C. Also, you can play the bass string because we're tuned to C. Then we have this kind of D minor chord, where we play the 2nd fret, which is now D, on the bass string, 5th fret of the A, and 3rd fret of the D string. Then the 3rd chord is you bar the 2nd fret, you keep the 3rd fret of the D string, which is like D minor 6, and then we're back to C. So, finger picking pattern we're going to do is pretty simple. You're going to play the bass with the thumb, A string with the index, bass with the thumb, middle finger on the D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we do that, we play 2 bars of that on the C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Move to that D minor. D minor 6. Back to C. So in essence, the base of it is pretty simple. However, he plays things like this. And it totally changes all the time. The thing that does stay the same is the timing. So what he's varying between is whether he goes index finger or middle, basically. It always comes back to the thumb. So you always have your 1 and 2 and... Okay, so it could be index finger. Or it could be middle finger. Sorry. Or any mixture you like of the two. So I'd say the best thing to do is get the bass pattern down so that you're used to this kind of format of this part, and then just play around with what you like. Listen to what he plays. He changes it all the time. Different patterns for different bars, different patterns for different parts of the song. I get the vibe he's just kind of improvising it and there's no actual pattern. But that's how he keeps the time, and that's the bass pattern. So I'd learn that and then have some fun with it. For the chorus, we have a nice strummy bit. We're going to play a C chord and a D minor, much more standard D minor. Okay? The rhythm is going to go, which is down up, and then we're muting the strings or slapping the strings. Get a little bit of percussion. Then we're going to go up, down, up, another little slap, and then an up to finish. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we do 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D minor, and then we play a C. And then we have this riff, which is a C chord strummed, open G, 2-0 on the D, and then 2 3s on the A. Basically playing through your C. And then we play a D minor chord and let that ring. And then he ends up playing the verse chords that we had in the finger picking part, the quick bit. He just plays the same strumming rhythm. Because that bit will then lead into what we do for verse 3. So there we're just doing the same rhythm as the chorus on those different chords. For verse 3, we're playing all down strums as 8th notes. Same chords, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 bars as before. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once he's played it through once, he then starts throwing in all these extra up strums. So then you're getting the 16th notes. And again, it's very loose, it's done as you wish. The thing I would say is start as he starts, where he does them at the end. Which has 2 lovely aspects to it. 1, it's easier if you just start doing a couple, and 2, it builds the dynamic. You want to build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up. So the more that you do that, by just easing it in. The easiest way to do it is do the last couple. So you would do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and then into the next one. But again, have a play around. You can keep it just down strums and then start messing around with some extra up strums in there. For the outro, we're keeping the same chords as we had, different chords, same rhythm as we just had for the verse 3, where we're playing down strums, down strums, down strums, and then start throwing in some extra up strums. But we got different chords. So, we have C, D minor, then we have a G, but we're playing G in a different style because of the tuning. We're barring the 2 3rd frets of the E and the B string. Then we are playing the 4th fret of the G, 5th fret of the D. And you're kind of aiming like you would do for an F. You're aiming for the thin strings. Then we're back to C. So if we were talking just down strums, it'd be the same 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And then you can start throwing in the up strums again. And then for the solo, we start off on a C. It's very staccato. We're going to walk up like we did in the intro. But, as I say, it's very staccato. You want to stop those notes in your left hand. And then he rushes through the last 2 because he can't staccato the open. And then that last bit is 2-0 on the G. Okay. Second bar is more legato, and that line is on the D string. We go 2 3 2 0, and then 2 3. And then you go into an F. So from that 3, it's 2 on the G string, 1 on the B string, open E, and then we play the first fret. So that's that bar. Then you play the first fret at the B, open E, first fret at the B. And then we play 3-2 on the G. And then he kind of crunches it. So it's either the 3rd fret of the D or the 2nd fret. They both sound nice, it's whichever you prefer. It's hard to hear because he goes like this on the live version. Sorry, it's more like that. And so it's hard to hear what he's playing. But either work. I think it's the 3rd fret. So if we do the first half of that solo. Then we come to the more legato quick bit. So that first bit is hammer on the D, 2nd fret, and then play open G. Do that again. Then you hammer on the 1st fret and the 3rd fret of the B, so you pick the open B and do a double hammer on 1st to 3rd. And then you pick the open E to finish the run. And then next bit we're going to pick the B string and pull it off to the 1st fret from the 3rd to the 1. Okay. Next, which is the same thing as we just did, but we just start with a hammer on from the open to the 1st. Then you pick it again, and you do the same thing as before. We hammer up to the third, pick the open E, and do the pull off. And then we'd finish off the rundown with some hammer-on pull-offs. First fret of the B, second fret of the G, to second fret of the D. All together.